Okay, so we're going to continue from where we stopped. I think that was yesterday. We're still dealing with sound. We're still dealing with sound. So yesterday we looked at um, the speeds of sound, the characteristics of sounds, and today we are going to go further and look at the energy and the intensity of sound wave. That's what we're going to do in today's uh, lesson. Okay, so we have energy, sound wave. Okay, I'm not too well. I'm not fine. I'm not fine, but so we're not going to take so much time. I just wanted at least we do something. So I'm not too well. Yeah. Thank you for asking. Okay, so we're dealing with energy and sound, and energy of sound waves and intensity. So when you look at intensity, wow. When we look at the intensity, of sound, what comes into your mind when you hear about the intensity of sound? What comes into your mind? Or not only of sound, just the word intensity. What comes into your mind? The amount of something, okay? The amount of something, okay? So maybe of sound is how loud it is, okay? Yeah, so when you are talking about intensity of sound, you're talking about the amount of sound energy. So intensity here, we are dealing with energy. So you are talking about the amount of energy that is passing per unit time, the amount of energy passing per unit time and per unit area, okay, around a given point, okay. And this, yeah, and this amount of energy is also passing in a perpendicular direction. Okay, so intensity of sound is the amount of energy. Oh, sorry. It's amount of sound energy, not just energy. passing per unit time. Around that point in a perpendicular direction. Okay, so that is intensity, and the intensity is given by capital letter E, and this is the mathematical or rather the formula from the explanation that we have, and it's actually here, and we have the energy unit time. So we have energy per unit area per unit time, and that is the intensity. Now, when you look at this mathematical expression that we have, this one, I want you to take a look at this mathematical expression. You look at this one. This is energy per unit time. Okay, that's energy per unit time. And the rate of energy transfer, I think you did that in probably when we are dealing with work, energy, and power. You're going to recall something about this formula, energy out of time. The rate of energy transfer is actually power. So in short, this formula can also be written as intensity is equal to power over area. Okay, so this is power, and that is area. And the SI unit for intensity is actually watts per square meter. That is the SI unit of intensity. Okay. So now, when you're looking at sound, you're going to agree with me that the frequencies or the pitch of sound differs. Okay, of sound differs. There's the sound that is loud, and also the sound that is considered to be faint. Even as compared to when you're whispering to somebody, that sound, the pitch is very low compared to when someone is screaming or is shouting. So now, a human ear or human ears are able to, there's a level of sound that they can be able to hear, or which we call it as the threshold of hearing. Okay, the threshold of hearing, this is the faintest sound that human ears can be able to detect. Okay, so threshold of hearing, which is given by I naught, okay, is the faintest sound human ears can detect. Okay, so the faintest sound that a human ear can be able to detect is called the threshold of hearing. threshold of hearing, and this threshold of hearing is actually at about 1000 hertz. Okay, that's the frequency. The frequency of threshold of hearing is 1000 hertz. Okay, so that's the frequency, and this frequency gives us the intensity, the threshold of hearing intensity of about 1/10⁻⁻12. So 1/10, that's the energy. That's the energy, the faintest energy. Okay. Faintest energy that your ears, my ears, can be able to detect. It's about 1/10⁻⁻12 watts per square meter. Okay, so now apart from the threshold of hearing, there is also a threshold of pain. The threshold of pain, and the threshold of pain is actually the opposite to the threshold of hearing. So threshold of hearing, I mean of pain, okay, so the threshold of pain is the loudest sound that the human ear can tolerate. And when you go, like I believe some of us, we've been to the, let me say, like airport, where we've seen there's always some people who gives signal to the pilot outside the plane, of course. And those guys, they usually put on those things. The purpose of putting covering their ears with that is because of the sound. So it's this threshold of pain that they're trying to avoid, because the sound, the jet engines or whatever kind of aircraft, airplane is that, it produces the louder sound. The sound is very loud, such that it's going to be not good for somebody's ears. So you cannot be able to hear that sound directly. That is why they put on those covers, like they cover their ears so that they don't damage their ears or their eardrums. It's because of this sound. So the planes, they can be able to produce this threshold of pain. Okay, so to avoid that, that's why they are able to wear those ear cover. Okay, to help the not affect their ears. So now, intensity levels is usually measured actually in decibels. Okay, so you can detect the intensity levels of sound. Okay, you can detect the intensity level of sound, and it's done in decibel. Decibel. So it's given by a relationship. Okay, this relationship 10 log intensity of the threshold of hearing. Okay, so this B is actually the intensity level. The intensity level in decibels. Okay. So here on the threshold of hearing, we have that is the more like a constant by 12 square. Okay, so you can either be asked to find the intensity or the intensity levels, but for the threshold of hearing, you already have given, it's already given as 1 by 10 to the power negative 12 watts per square second. Okay, so I think we have a question on that. Okay, so the question says a noisy okay, we go back. Okay. So you let me know when you're done. Okay. So we have a noise grinding machine in a factory produces a sound intensity of 1. Okay, so this is actually 10, 1 by 10, and this is to the power 5. First, calculate the decibel level of this machine. B, the new intensity level when a second identical machine is added to the factory. And C, a certain number of additional such machines are put into operation alongside these two. When all the machines are running at the same time, the decibel level is 77 decibel. Find the sound intensity. Okay, so what we have this machine is producing the intensity of 1 by 10 to the power 5 watt per square second. And then what we know again, we also know of the threshold of hearing is 1 by 10 to the power negative 12 watts per square second. Yes, you can copy. There is no problem. You can copy the question, or you mean I pause so that you copy the question. We have those two, and then what are we looking for? We are looking for the decibel level. I believe today you all have calculators, because myself, I'm not having the calculator where I am. So I hope you have the calculator where you are. Okay, so now we know that the decibel level is given by log, is given by that. So now we are looking for this same decibel level, and then we have log, and the new intensity level is 1 by 10 to the power 5, and the threshold of hearing is that a second. So what is the decibel level for this machine?
I got 170.
170. Okay, so 170 decibel. I hope you did calculate correctly. Okay. So that's how you calculate the decibel level. And then we have B. I thought that was the only question. Wow. We also have B. And B says the new intensity level. Calculate the new intensity level when a second identical machine is added. Okay. So now, when we add a second machine, the decibel level is not going to be the same, is it? Because we are now having two machines. So